friends, what's up? Welcome back to another very bookish video here on Johnson's Ever After. My name is Ashleigh.
I want to Marina Pop so.
Oh yeah, that looks like fun. I'm back with another book talk. It has been a couple weeks since I posted the first book video. We're having some trouble with our internet.
Okay, Mama.
I'm glad you're okay, baby. Anyways, but I finished this book and I really wanted to talk about it. So I'm filming this, and the book I am talking about is Little Writer by Marina Hill. This is basically a Little Women retelling. It literally says Little Women in Jo's words, and that's a completely accurate description. If you've watched our other videos, you know that I am a huge Little Women fan. It is one of my favorite books of all time. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get the year wrong. 2019 Little Women? I think it's 2019. Is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. In fact, we watched it last night because I've been in a Little Women mood ever since I finished this. But yes, and so I really wanted to read this. The funny part about that is I am not big on retellings. For me, I feel like too often they try to take the story, make it into something else, and they don't. When I hear retelling, I think, oh, I'm getting an extension, you know, into the world. Like, it's gonna feel like you're connected to that original story. I have to have that connection. And that happens very rarely, in my opinion. I don't find a lot of retellings that do that. In fact, this is the fourth time I have attempted a Little Women retelling. And this is the first one I really like. And this is actually probably the most, like, true to the original retelling that I've ever read. I feel like so well it honors the original, but it brings, like, it adds to it. I felt like I was getting, like, more depth to the story. It was telling me more. It is basically, so it is literally, as it said, Little Women in Jo's words. It's her perspective of events over the years, and you get a little more diving into, like, some elements that, you know, might have been focused on the other sisters in the original, or like you get to hear her thoughts and like how she got places, because I feel like while I love Jo, she was very cut and rugged and didn't quite give depth to her thoughts and emotions. And I felt like this, you saw her thoughts, her feelings, why she felt a certain way, how she was coping with it. And I really loved that because I felt like it kind of made you understand her more. It brought her a little extra to life. And I love Jo. Jo is one of my favorite literary characters of all time. I definitely relate to her, especially in her love of books. She has this line where she talks about how she could be so happy just to be surrounded by books all the time. And then, like, Josh and I always joke that in the newer version of the movie, she says that line, or she's like asked about it, and Lori says nobody could be happy with just books, and she goes, I could. And Josh always looks at me and he goes, that is you. And he's completely right. I would be so happy just surrounded by books, and I love it. And like her creative thinking, and I just relate to her a lot. Now, not all the way. Some of her things I think are a little childish. I think
Daddy talking just like the puzzle already.
You and Daddy made that puzzle already last night? That's cool. But yeah, and I was really excited to read this. There was some parts, like, in the beginning, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it because the writer. Yes, baby.
I was holding the box. Do my back there.
Okay, you do that.
I got it back there. I'll do mine.
I know you did. anyways, because this writer didn't write, there's a very big difference in the way someone in the 1800s would talk, or was it the 1800s? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the time. It's one fact I always forget and I can't remember. But someone in the time that the original Little Women was written wrote with a very different like language. How people spoke was very different. And this one is written more modernly, which is not bad, but there were some parts where it didn't just mesh together. So in the beginning I was a little unsure of that. And I kind of like felt like this brought, you know, it worked in the end. You got everything you were looking for, and I really honestly even felt like this brought the youthfulness to Jo that the character is painted as having, and just in this with the language and how it's written, I felt like you got more of that youthfulness than you did in the original. Now, I am in no way saying this is better than the original. I will always love the original Little Women. I even like Little Men. Jo's Boys, it was just okay to me. Oh, is Superman getting me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna finish talking about this book. But I did enjoy that. This book was only 226 pages long, so it was a little novella. It took a couple days for me to read, but I enjoyed it very, very much. Yeah, and I just wanted to come on here and talk about that because I was so excited. I had way more in my head, but for some reason every time I turned the camera on, like, I forget these speeches I'm doing. Also, I'm wearing my Little Women sweatshirt that is from the Etsy store I used to have and run. It felt appropriate. So yeah, that is my thought on Little Writer, and I loved it. And it made me all gooey and warm and fuzzy inside. I mean, the Beth parts, I definitely cried. I always cry at the Beth parts, and it breaks my heart.
Now I have Faye. The tongue is Faye.
We're gonna, Mommy can't lift that box, so Daddy's gonna get it out when he gets home, okay? Anyways, and then like by the end, like it felt like a book that gives you a warm hug. For me, it brought about that special feelings book gives you, and I was like, I don't know, reading it just like made me feel so happy. Like I was like gonna cry. I was so emotional, and it was so good. But yeah, if you've read it, I'm actually very curious what you think. And actually I'm kind of curious what people think on Retellings. But yeah, so that is my review, and I want to say thank you for tuning in and listening, even though I am not eloquent and probably sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, and if you have book recommendations, I will gladly take them. I am always open to new book suggestions and talks. So I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you, actually we'll see you tomorrow because we post our regular vlog on Mondays and we post these on Sundays. So see you in the next video. Bye guys.